Welcome to News Today. The headline is General HORTA INTA A of Guinea-Bissau, General swon in a transitional president after coup. On Thursday, army officers announced they had deposed the country's president, saying the West African nation's latest military coup, General HORTA INTA A, had been sworn in as the transitional president of the Guinea-Bissau. After General HORTA INTA A took the oath of office in a ceremony at the military's headquarters on Thursday, he declared, quote, "I have been sworn in to lead the high command," end of quote. INTA A, popularly called, served until now as the chief of staff of country's army, considered to have been close in recent years with President Umaru Sissoco Embalo, who was deposed on Wednesday during the coup. General HORTA INTA A said that evidence had been, quote, "sufficient to justify the operation," end of quote, and that, quote again, "necessary measures are urgent and important and require everyone's participation," end of quote. Although the African Union AU Commission chairperson condemned the military coup on Thursday and called for the immediate and unconditional release of Embalo and all detained officials. But military officers who called themselves, quote, "the High Military Command for the Restoration of Order," end of quote, said on Wednesday that in the latest episode of turmoil in the coup-prone country, they had ousted Embalo. The provisional result had been expected to be announced in the race between Embalo and Famendo Diaz, a 47-year-old political newcomer who had emerged on Embalo's top challenger on run with the West African state, when suddenly the military struck. The West African state is known to be a hub for cocaine trafficking. The capital, Bissau, on Thursday was mostly quiet, with soldiers on the streets and many residents staying indoors even after the overnight curfew lifted. Business and banks were closed. A day after two leading candidates in a tightly contested presidential election each declared victory. No victor, no vanquish, which is not normal. That was on Wednesday. A coup of military officers claimed, quote, "total control," end of quote, of the country. The takeover announcement on Wednesday came shortly after sustained gunfire was held near the Election Commission headquarters, the Presidential Palace, and the Ministry of the Interior in the capital, Bissau. Quote, "I have been deposed," end of quote, Embalo later said in a phone call on Wednesday, adding that he was, quote, "currently at the General Staff headquarters," end of quote. Embalo's whereabouts remain unknown until Thursday. The takeover of the country government through coup by military officials and INTA A as the new leader had thrown the political process quote, "into question," end of quote. Quote again, "It seems that an election will take place, but at least not in the year to come," end of quote. Quote again, "But what was interesting, when he was sworn into office, he was surrounded by the top brass of the military. He seems to be surrounded and has the legitimacy of the military force, and that's quite an important force inside the country, where there have been dozens of coups before," end of quote. Sally Emmanuel, reporting from my channel.